Hello peeps, thank you for joining me today. Today I bring you Unturned. Unturned is a brilliant game, a game which I really enjoy playing with my friends. And the reason why I'm making this particular video is because of the beta version, which in my view is the best version of the game. So this game, this version that you're seeing right before your very eyes, is not available unless you input a special code, but I'll talk about that later. The original game is the game that's available at the minute, and I'll refer to that as the original. I haven't created a video on the original game, but I've decided instead to talk about this particular beta version, which will undoubtedly be finally released. When, I don't know. And the benefits and perhaps even the drawbacks of this particular version over the original version. Now, Unturned is an amazing experience, as I've just said, for two main reasons. The first reason being it's free to play. Yes, and when I say free to play, I really do mean free to play. There are no pay to win mechanics whatsoever. And even though this is a zombie apocalypse game that centers on crafting and what have you, there are a billion, probably more than a billion. There are billions of zombie apocalypse games out there, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's so special about this game that really differentiates it between those games? And there are two main reasons. The first reason being that the game is free to play and there are no pay to win mechanics. I mean, that in itself is a huge bonus, because you'll no doubt find out that the guy who created this game, he actually it seems to me that he's focused primarily on making this game a free-to-play experience which everyone can enjoy. And even though there is a gold membership available which costs peanuts, a few dollars or a few pounds wherever you are, it's very cheap, you do not gain any advantage or bonus over those who decide not to pay. So if you do decide to buy the gold membership, you will have access to the gold members server only, and so basically you'll be playing against those who similarly have the same advantages as you, which is perfectly fine. And apart from that, everything that you can find in the free-to-play version is as is. You can so basically there's no bonus whatsoever to buying the gold membership apart from the aesthetics, and also, as I said before, the access to the gold members only servers, which has better loot and so on. But of course, yeah. Anyway. I go on and on and on. I do tend to ramble about things. But yeah, the second reason is because it's made by one guy. And that guy's called Nelson Sexton. He's 17, or he was 17 when he made this game. Remember, this is the beta version, so this is the improved version. And he created everything, from the graphics to the aesthetics, well, the mechanics, sorry. I'm not sure about the music, but he created it. Just one guy. One guy in his bedroom, and so credit to him for that. And so those two reasons alone are what differentiates this game from the gabillion, is that a word? A gabillion? Or gazillion? Gatrillion? Zombie apocalypse games and Minecraft clones. Ooh, I shouldn't really say that. This is not a Minecraft clone, in my view anyway, out there. So it is quite similar to Minecraft in the sense that you can craft certain things. However, it's very different in that you can't actually alter the topography and the layout of the land. So the floor that you see there, you can't actually alter, which is perfectly fine. The idea and the focus of this particular game is on the crafting. And of course the zombies, trying to survive. It's really a matter of survival, because in the original game, you had very little inventory space. So the first thing you had to do was to try and find water, to try and find food, and to try and find sustainable levels of water and food by planting, crops and things like that. So this game's slightly different in that there's less seeds available, but you have an increased inventory. So whereas before in the original game you could only increase your inventory, which was very tiny at the very beginning, by finding backpacks, and there are various sizes of backpacks, from school backpacks, which were minuscule, to the army backpacks and things like that, which were absolutely huge. But even then it was very limited. With this one, however, you can find clothing, and each piece of clothing adds extra inventory to what you already have, which includes the trousers, or the pants as you Americans like to say, and backpacks, hats, shorts, tops, jumpers, anything. So that's a huge improvement over the original. It's also updated on a regular basis, which I really like, and there are times such as last Christmas when Nelson said that he wouldn't be able to update the game as regularly as he usually does because he's spending time with his family over Christmas, of course, which is perfectly understandable. Yeah, other than that, it's updated regularly, and also they've got this whole beta thing which you can see before you. So the improvements over this one. It's better optimized. That's the first thing that I realized when I played the game. With the first game, with the original game, even if you turned up the settings on a really powerful PC, you would see dips in the frame rate, and that was due to optimization. But you have to bear in mind that this was created by one guy, which is perfectly understandable. So the graphics are improved in this particular version. Overall, the optimization, the weapon optimization is much improved. The animations and the implementation also of the ragdoll physics is also a very welcome improvement and introduction. Sorry, just being distracted once again. There's new vehicles such as the Jeep, which is a gas guzzler, by the way, so I wouldn't suggest using that, because as soon as you fill it up with gas or petrol, you won't get very far. There's indicators and plant growth as well, which is absolutely awesome. With the original game, you couldn't actually see, apart from looking at them, how close the crops were to being harvested. With this one, there's an actual indicator bar, which is awesome. There's bigger worlds. This world is actually based on the original, though if you played the original before and then you play this one, you won't recognise it at all. I mean, well, there are certain parts of the map where you will recognise them, but overall it's a totally different game. There's bigger houses, better graphics, as I was saying before. In my view, there's also better lighting as well. And the specialities, which is another huge introduction. So you can specialise in offence, which I tend not to go for. I tend to go for defence. Nuri, I'm playing with my friends right now, so Nuri and Lukani tend to go for offense or attack, and also support. There's also new animations, as I was saying. There's also a change in combat mechanics, which is also a huge change, because with the original game, even though it was very difficult to start with, you would die all the time. But then once you got to grips with the actual combat mechanics, it became very easy, and you rarely, if ever, died. It was basically, if you were melee, it was a simple case of just moving backwards all the time and hitting them while they were there, just following you in a straight line. But with this one, it's very different, and it's a lot more challenging in my view. Also, another huge pointer is the introduction of an in-game editor. I haven't actually used that yet, but it sounds really interesting, and I do look forward to creating my own world, perhaps. I have no idea how that actually works, but hopefully I'll create some update videos if you want me to. The crafting too has been changed radically. So how Unturned how it is with the original game is basically it's like Minecraft in a way, but it's a lot more complicated. And I think it was kind of detrimental, because the difficulty in actually trying to craft the items in the original game was such that you were constantly referring to the internet in order to try and find out the recipes or the combinations, as it were, for certain things. So in order to create a chest, oh good lord, I always had to have the browser window open. In Steam, I could use the overlay, but in order to create a chest, you had to use an axe to knock down the trees, and then use the wood to create planks, and then create the planks to create a bracket or something, and then combine that with something else, then create some like squares, whatever they were called. It was just hell. It was just hellish, absolutely hellish. And it was a simple case of just constantly referring. Even though you may have created 100 chests before, you would still have to refer, well for me anyway, because my memory is terrible, you had to refer to the internet, some sort of guide, in order to help you craft these things. And that was just a chest just imagine anything else more complex than that. So with this beta version, they've improved that, because as long as you have the constituent raw materials, the constituent parts to create what you want, it will appear automatically in the crafting table, which is a welcome addition. It does have its drawbacks, though I won't go into those because I don't want this video to go on for too long. Something I always say, but which never happens. Anyway, so Unturned, the reason why I'm making this video is, for those of you who haven't actually played the game, you should do so now. And in order to play this beta version, there's a very, very special code called Operation Maple Leaf that you need to input in Steam, and good luck with it, because you will die when you first play the game. I sound so evil. It's definitely worth getting the gold membership as well, just to support him. Knowing that it was created by one person, and knowing that he understands how to make a game that's, you know, not trying to ram DLCs or pay-to-win mechanics down your throat. That in itself makes me think, well, you know, this guy deserves the gold membership, or however little it costs, and credit to Nelson Sexton for having done that. So it's totally free to play. It's not got any pay-to-win mechanics whatsoever. You can play PvP against other people, which I tend not to do. I tend to play with my friends. You can play cooperatively. I don't know how many people you can have on the server. Oh, also the graphics. Look at the graphics. They are beautiful. They are definitely improved from the original. Together, in combination, with the optimization, it creates a very coherent experience. New animations such as the trees, which you knock down, whereas before, in the original game, if you knock down a tree, it would just disintegrate into its raw parts, whereas with this one, in this beta version, you can actually see the whole tree fall down onto someone's head and then break up into its constituent parts. So yeah, these are nice and welcome. Oh, and the map as well. The map is another welcome addition. In the original game, you could only find the map, and even then it wasn't really any use because it also took up an inventory space, which, as I was saying before, was very, very hard to come by in the original. Whereas with this one, you have it straight away from the off, and the world in general is a lot bigger. So I can't wait for the next updates. I can't wait for an expansion on the maps. You can actually create your own. This is actually tied with Steam Workshop, so you can actually edit things, and obviously it has the beta version at least has the in-game editor, which is absolutely superb. So this is not a Minecraft clone. No, it is not. It's a brilliant game, and I recommend it definitely. So go out there, get it. It's free. And yeah, good luck with it. Have fun. So if you want me to create any more updates, any future updates on this particular game, then I will do. My Planet Explorers game, I was actually going to create another video on Planet Explorers, but that is not updated as regularly as this game. So I thought, well, I need to do this game justice. I need to do Nelson justice, and so I decided to create this instead. So thank you very much, guys. This is Tatsu, and I'm just about to sign off. Lucky you. Lucky you! I'm off. I'll see you later. Goodbye.